Hi guys, happy belated New Year. My name's Krasula.
And I'm Natasha, and we're two queens from Queens, New York.
And we are unapologetically discussing the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Let's get right into some trending topics because, honey, the tea is piping hot, it is boiling over, and it is juicy. Hi Joe kids, hi Joe wife. No, baby. No, not this year. 2024, hi Joe husband from Mrs. Ariana Grande, the home wrecker. Because she'll take your man, she'll break your home, she'll break your family, and her response will be, and I quote from her latest single that she has dropped, "Yes, and your business is yours and mine is mine. Why do you care so much whose D I ride?" Well, Miss Ariana Grande, maybe it's because it wasn't your D to ride. It belongs to a married man whose wife recently had their first child. They had just started their family.
And you knew about this. It's not like you didn't know. It's not like he was hiding this information.
She 100% knew.
She held the baby.
And we just really have to talk about, this is not the first time Ariana Grande has home wrecked a relationship. She has had a pattern of doing this since back in the day, since the Yours Truly album. From Big Sean to Mac Miller to Pete Davidson, all the exes reported essentially being blindsided by Ariana, their man's just breaking up with them, and then a couple days later popping out with Miss Ariana Grande. There were also young women who spoke out about how Ariana knew that they were in a relationship at the time, even went as far as to send her a DM and for her to block it and continue doing what she was doing. It's unacceptable, really. The normalization of cheating in today's society, in the hookup and dating culture that is just running rampant nowadays. It's messy. It's just not a good look on Miss Grande's part. I also want to talk about the single in itself, which was her response to all the allegations that have been going on. As a fan, I really have to say, and this is just my opinion, very mid. Probably her worst single I've ever heard from her, to be honest. I was very disappointed.
It's very below par for the caliber of singer and performer and entertainer that she is. If she was 16-year-old Disney star who's just coming out with her first single, this would have been perfect. But for a seasoned, entertainer who's been in the industry for a long time, and we all know her capabilities and that she could put out some bangers, this is not acceptable. I feel like, especially coming out of this drama, and it's not even a cute drama. This is dirty. This is ugly. What happened to being a girl's girl? What happened to girl code? These are things that are important. And any girls who are looking up to Ariana and thinking that this is cool, it's not. It's not a good look. You don't want to be known as someone who's out here stealing people's man. Ariana's getting away with it because she's rich. The rest of you are not. You're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get beat up and you're gonna get dragged. She has lawyers, so the wife's not trying to beat her up. But let me tell you, if that was just a regular girl, Amen, she would have got dragged.
Amen.
And Ariana, you need to find another hobby for when you're bored, because we were talking about it, and I think she does this because she's bored. She has so much money. She could travel wherever she wants to go. She can go shopping wherever she wants to go. Yeah. But what's going to give her some dopamine, some adrenaline?
It's a high. It's a high for her.
Stealing someone's man.
It's messy behavior. Let's bring back morals back into 2024. And speaking of messy behavior
and not being a girl's girl.
Train wreck.
Another train record because we got the Yes and terrible song. Let's move into Bigfoot. Miss Nicki Minaj dropping a diss track. Well, in her mind, a reply to another diss track that was not anything. I listened to his and I'm like, let me hear where she's dissing Nicki. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear it. If you want to take offense to the Megan's Law thing, I mean, who told you to marry a gender? I'm so confused.
I'm gonna just sip my tea to that. And also, I mean, like, her brother, listen,
and have a kid with one at that. Like, at the end of the day,
I mean, listen, I mean,
but how are you gonna get offended and then talk about her mom,
her dead mother, who died from cancer?
Mom. You know what I mean? Like, I guess she doesn't have a relationship with her mom like that. She's probably going through these low blows because, you know, she doesn't feel like anybody can attack her, or she's already been attacked enough already. So it's kind of like, what else can you say?
And she went so in talking about Megan's body. Like, Megan on her social media, that woman's body, she be up in the gym.
Good.
She looks fantastic.
She's literally body goals. Like, she looks healthy. She doesn't look fake. And we already know Nikki's body's not real. There's how many videos of her where, like, her butt is literally sagging. I don't know if she has implants or butt shots or what. Honey, the thighs don't match.
She has had, back in 2007, she admitted to have, like, butt injections that she got in some guy's basement, like, illegal, uncensored. Like, stop acting like you haven't had body work, sweetie. Like, Megan looks great. She works for it. She's up in the gym. She's doing her thing.
She's 5'10". You're 5'2". What are we talking about? What are we comparing? Anyone who's 5'10" is gonna have bigger feet than you, honey.
That's just,
their hands are gonna be
anatomy.
Bigger. That's just what it is. And it's just, it's so ugly. And literally, someone was like, if Nikki keeps acting so childish, her man's gonna have to move out the house. And that's what you're really mad about. But you're the one who chose to go and be in a whole relationship and have a whole child with someone who is a predator.
Exactly.
You already knew what you were setting yourself up for. So whatever, trying to diss, anything you want to say to people, honey, the cold's coming from inside the house. Like, you need to clean up your house. You don't throw stones when you live in a glass house.
Amen. I mean, come on. When your brother is, you know, he's also registered for, like, when you're between your brother and your man, like, you already know, as you said, what you're getting yourself into. People are going to talk about that. People are going to throw shots about that. You already knew.
But I listened to it and I'm trying to see where she dissed Nikki and I didn't hear it. So you really just made up a whole scenario in your head and now you're out here looking crazy. She sounds like a senile old lady in a nursing home just babbling and not making any sense.
At the end of the song, when she was talking, it was
I'm like, what is going on? Is she okay?
It was so cringe.
I'm just picturing, and I know you guys have all seen this clip of Jocelyn Hernandez when she's all coked out, sweating bullets in the studio, like spitting her rhymes. That is what I'm imagining is happening to Nikki right now. I'm worried. Like, girl, are you okay?
And we have to
send a signal. Are you okay?
We have to talk about the IG live, lie on your dead mama. It's Roman. Girl,
what?
And she just kept repeating it. She sounded
like a crazy old lady.
She sounded coked up. She sounded insane. And then, you know, she released a statement saying, I've never done coke in my life. Child, come on, honey.
What was that fueled by? It wasn't weed.
It was,
because potheads don't act like that. Potheads don't act like that. You would have been mad happy and eating a burger or something. Like, that's not what potheads do. So you was definitely on something.
It was on something, sweetie.
You have somebody in your ear. Your team is not guiding you in the right direction.
No, they are not.
And the fact that Meg has stayed silent through this, honestly, she wins. She wins this round.
She won that round.
I don't know what else is going to come out of this. Maybe more records, but Meg definitely came out on top. She looks like the respectable woman, the bigger person.
Absolutely.
And Nikki, I'm disappointed.
And Nikki's
I'm so embarrassed for her.
Yeah, it's just not a good look, especially her being significantly older than Meg.
And this isn't the first time her, like, attacking, like, younger artists, you know? And I feel like back in the day, they tried to pit her and Lil' Kim against each other.
They did.
You know? So it's like, why continue to do that? The industry continues to try to put women MCs against each other.
For what?
And you guys need to come together instead of hating each other, because it's all about girl power at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So be a girl's girl, support other women, and don't be so offended. Just you felt some type of way because she said Megan's Law and the shoe fit clearly, and
you got mad,
blew it up out of proportion.
You got mad, and just piggybacking off of what you said. I mean, like, come together, work together as women, bring each other up. Don't
imagine the fire record. You guys could come and put out a fire record.
Another fire record.
Bury the beef and put out a fire record and end it.
Let's leave the woman hating to, speaking of woman hating, let's leave the woman hating to the next thing I want to talk about. Myron from Fresh and Fit. Oh, the Fresh and Fit podcast. How it blew up this year. I mean, like that 2023, I mean, it was already a thing going on, but it really went rampant in 2023. So as you know, the host, Myron, I don't disagree with every single red pill guy, red pill podcast, every single thing they say, no, but Fresh and Fit and Mr. Myron, they are their own special brand of just lunacy, toxicity, and the moronic statements that come out of this individual's mouth. So a big thing with them is they want to talk about how it's not a man's job to be loyal to his wife. An alpha male doesn't have to be loyal to his wife. It's the woman's job only. It's only the wife's job to be loyal. Alpha men were made to spread their seed and sow their seed across the ocean. No. Being an alpha, especially, it's so bad because a lot of the Fresh and Fit, viewers are young boys. They're young boys who are hearing this nonsense and applying it to their real lives. Not okay. No real men are sitting there and actually taking anything they have to say like it means something. I mean, come on. No real men act like that. No real men want to be out here messing with mad women. That's stressful. How do you even have time for that? Well, I don't even.
That's bum behavior. That is bum behavior. How do you have time for that? And also, you want to go out here and spread your seed. We already see what happens when there is not a positive male role model in a young boy's life.
Absolutely.
So this is what you want to do, is go have a bunch of children that do not have a father figure. You want to be out here being Nick Cannon, but you don't. A lot of you don't have Nick Cannon money to be flying here, there, and everywhere trying to take care of these kids. That's important. And I wonder if he had his father in his life. I really wonder if he's had his father in his life, because it would make sense if he didn't.
I'm not sure, but I will say this. A big part, so these alpha, he wants to talk about how self-control, control of your emotions, controlling what goes into your body, control yourself, go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. That's what makes you a man, blah, blah, blah. Self-control. That also goes in. Why can't you apply that same self-control into being loyal to your wife? That same self-control applies to controlling your natural instincts as a man and staying loyal to your wife, the one who bore your children into this world and does everything for you, who's your side-by-side life partner. You have to apply that same concept of self-control to where you stick your banana, okay? It doesn't just go for the things you want it to go for. It's all around, honey. It's not just one thing.
Don't want to be messy. And I've seen a few different, podcasts of guys talking who do business. And so many of them say, I would never want to do business with a man who cheats on his wife.
I saw that.
And I've seen it a few times.
It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. How could I trust you when you're betraying the person who's been your ride and die, who's done everything
who you lay
for
next to every single night?
I mean,
and being a man is not about putting women below you. I would never be with anyone who did not view me as their equal. And if you're with a woman who you feel like isn't your equal, that's probably not the person for you. So it's either you need to help them elevate, or they're not the person for you. Why would you want someone who's beneath you? Why would you want to be with someone who you feel like is beneath you and is not on your level? How is that going to help you level up? It almost feels like you're with someone who's taking away from what you're doing, instead of being with someone who is here and we're on the same page and we're doing this together.
Correct.
And when you have relationships where you see people are actual partners and they actually love each other, and it's not just a physical relationship where they're just physically attracted to someone, where like this is really your friend, this is really your best friend, this is really who you're trying to do things with, and you respect them and their opinion and their time and their body and everything about them, that's the type of relationship we're working towards. We're not like, why do you want to be 50 years old, still single, trying to date a 20-year-old and then being upset that they don't want you? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Or that you feel the relationship
to live
is
your life
lacking.
like that. Right.
I know, you know, I won't put any names out there, but I know someone, you know, he got divorced late in life, and you know, he tried dating the younger women thing. He told me that the conversation, he couldn't even, he did it one date, and there was nothing to relate to. When you are a 50-year-old, 60-year-old individual, you don't enjoy, other than what, you know, sexual purposes, you don't enjoy spending time with a 20-year-old.
We don't want to do the same thing.
There's nothing to relate to.
When we were 21 years old, what are we trying to do? We're trying to go out. I want to go out. I want to go to the club. I want to go to the bar. Let's go to the city. Let's go bar hop, blah, blah, blah. When you're 50 years old, you're not trying to do that. 10 o'clock, you're tired.
I'm you're in bed. I'm tired now, and I'm 28.
When you're trying to date someone who's 21, 10 o'clock, the night just started. I'm just getting in the Uber to go to the city because the party don't start until 11, 12 o'clock. Like, what are we even doing?
What do you even
and then what if you go with a girl who's like 20 years old and then you want to have a kid? Now you trying to have a kid at 55?
Come on.
Like, the life expectancy of the average life expectancy is 70. So like, you barely gonna even be there for the kid.
That kid barely gonna know.
Like, literally, like, what are we doing?
And going back to like relationships, the dynamic between everybody's relationship and what works for one couple and another couple, it's going to be different. You know, me and Natasha, we're both individuals that are in long-term serious, you know, relationships, and Natasha's dynamic with her man is probably not the same as my dynamic with my man. One person might want their man to be more of the leader, and one woman might be more comfortable just following along. Another couple may not like that. Another couple may want a little more equality. Another couple may want, some men even like the woman being the leader. What works for one couple may not work for another couple. People are so different. Every couple is going to be different, and what works for one just may not work for the other.
And it's focused on what you like. You don't have to sit there and go to these podcasts to try to get like real life advice. This is just comedy. Like, this is not anything that you should be taking like to heart. Like, okay, like, this is what I need to do. Like, see what works for you. See what you like in a person. See what your like love language is. That's like a term that people like to use these days. And see what's important to you. What someone else values in a relationship may not matter to you. Maybe you don't care if your wife can cook or clean. I know there's some women out there who cannot cook or clean. And guess what? They are happily married because that is not why their man is with them. They don't care about that.
And then another man might. Another man might. And that's
care
fine.
About that.
And that's okay if he wants a woman that does that. And he may find a woman who loves doing that.
Exactly.
And that works for them, and that's okay. Point is, if you want great relationship advice, why don't you look towards your grandmother and grandfather who have been married for 30 plus years? There are other people to get great relationship advice from.
Anyone who you feel like has a healthy relationship.
Emphasis on healthy. Emphasis
who
on
you
healthy.
Don't see crying all the time, fighting all
constantly
the time,
in drama. No,
you know, arguing with your partner. Yeah, because arguing all the time with your partner is not normal. Having disagreements,
it's gonna happen.
Yelling, arguing, name calling is not normal.
So, you know, point is, guys, please, we need to keep the younger boys away from this. Some of these, like I said, it's not every podcast. I was really focusing on Fresh and Fit, but like, please keep your young children, your young boys away from these toxic, that Myron is so toxic. His mindset is so toxic. Sometimes I wonder if he even really believes it or if it's just like a farce.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes
because
I really
knows
wonder
how much, like, there's a lot of men out here who hate women. Like, you have countries where femicide is an issue. Women have to be scared to like go out at night to dress a certain way. Not even dress a certain way. You could just be regular and get harassed because you have people like him who are putting the idea out there that we are here to serve men. We are here to serve each other. it's a two-way street. It is not a one-way street. No relationship ever works when it is a one-way street where one person is doing more. It's always going to work when it is equal. And however you guys decide to balance that equalness out,
that's on you.
Is between you. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're a stay-at-home dad. Whatever that balance is, you need to find out what works for you. But to think that the woman is supposed to take so much, and just because you're a man, like, you don't have to put in as much work. Like, I'm not gonna clean, I'm a man. I'm not gonna do laundry, I'm a man. Like, that, if anything, that makes you more of a man, knowing how to do those things.
That you're willing to help your wife.
Exactly.
I mean, let's say your wife just had her first kid, like, and she's, you know, in the healing stage. She's not gonna be able to do that right now. You're gonna have to step up to the plate and help her. And listen, we're not biased, okay? There's toxic femininity just as much as there's toxic masculinity. We know that, honey. We are not biased. We told you guys, you're gonna get the truth from us, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, and you are. And our next episode, we're gonna hone in on that. We're going to really hone in on the topic of toxic femininity. We're also going to go over, you know, narcissistic relationships and friendship breakups, which I feel is not talked about enough.
Because you have toxic, you know, romantic relationships, but you also have toxic friendships.
And it's a big thing, and it's not talked about enough. So we're going to get into that as well. Guys, please be sure to follow us, Queen's Essence Radio, on all social media platforms, okay? We're also going to have a playlist. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, so make sure to look out for our playlist. We're going to try to update it every single week with new music, up-and-coming artists, fire beats, feel-good music, so you can vibe with us throughout the week.
And it's not going to be no Billboard Hot 100.
No,
we're going to try, we're really into music. So we're going to be finding like underground music, bands you haven't heard of, artists you probably haven't heard of, that just really deserve more recognition because they're talented AF. There's so much talent that gets unrecognized. I myself am an artist. I'm a singer. And I know so many incredible independent artists that put out fire music. So that's the type of stuff that's going to be on our playlist, guys, okay? So again, I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Natasha.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Queen's Essence Radio. We can't wait to see you guys, and peace. Bye. Okay. Is this the one?
I hope so.